Hi, Bec Mac here for Popsart, and I am at Opera Queensland talking to the composer of The Call, which is Opera Queensland's next show that's coming up for Brisbane Festival. And I'm here with Conductor ZOE. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me, because you must be very excited. This is the first opera that you've ever composed. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's a whirlwind. It's a whirlwind of emotions and things happening and things to do. It's been a really exciting time. Yeah.
Has anything really taken you by surprise in the process of creating this work?
I think the thing that maybe not taken me by surprise, but I've enjoyed a lot more than maybe I was anticipating being able to be part of is being part of the process in the room once it's actually coming to life in the actual staging and the dramaturgy of it all has been really fascinating. And yeah, that's been something that maybe I wasn't quite expecting to be able to be as hands-on with as Patrick and the team have allowed me to be, which has been really exciting.
Yeah, great. And when you were first approached about the story, had you ever heard this story before, and what captured your imagination about it?
Yeah, so Ali sent me the podcast that we based the story on. I think it was late 2019 or early 2020. It was quite a while ago. Before, she kind of approached myself and MILLER-HEIDKE about writing Libretto, and myself about writing the music. Before, I think we even brought it to Opera Queensland, and said, "I think this is an opera. Yes. Would you be interested?" And yeah, it really grabbed me. It's such a 10-minute story that's so captivating and so beautifully written as it is, that also in the way that the story's told, it's kind of jumping forward and back in her memory and forward and back in time in the way that the story is told by Auburn in her original story. So it was a really interesting thinking about how we would go about adapting that, and how we would treat the way we play with time in the story. It's been something really fascinating to dive into in the music as well.
Yeah. And you have electric guitars. You're out of control. What's happening? This is just like not your average opera, is it?
I mean, I've seen an opera with electric guitars before, actually. But yeah, we talked about the story, and it's a very contemporary story. It's a timeless story in many ways, about this woman and meeting someone and the troubles she goes through in her life, and the kindness of a stranger. Is that the crux of it, and that's a very timeless story. But the time that Auburn experienced this in her life was the 1990s, and it's a very contemporary story and something that is as relevant today, and I feel is something that many people will be able to connect to and have experienced or know someone who's experienced similar settings. Yeah. And when thinking about this, a classical orchestra in its fullest, and as much as I enjoy writing for that, it didn't necessarily connect with me as much as I thought the setting and the drama of the thing would. And immediately jumped to mind of actually collaborating with two guitarists in Brisbane who I'm close friends with and have collaborated with on a number of other projects. So I really wanted to bring them on board and work with them, especially just because I like collaborating with them in particular. But electric guitars gives you so much option. They can sound like anything in a way with the effects and other things that you can do with an electric guitar.
It's sort of got the grunt and the grit, hasn't it?
It's got a grunt and a grit at times, but also they can produce magical, shimmery, lush, twinkly stuff, depending on how you affect it and how you treat the guitar. And that is so much flexibility and so much sound such a huge palette of sound you can get out of one instrument, in this case two of them together, which I thought really added to how we were able to work with the ensemble, especially this kind of smaller condensed ensemble that we've used for this work.
Bring it on, Connor. I love this. And finally, what would you like the audience to take away from this work? Because it is, it's being sort of matched or not matched, but it's a whole experience with the other work, The Human Voice, and then there's The Call, and they're two one-woman shows, and there's a lot of similarity but a lot of difference. Yeah. What do you think overarchingly people will find for themselves in both these works, really?
I really hope that people come with open ears, that there's a little bit of something for everyone musically, I think, between the two works. It treads these lines between pop music and classical music and, you know, traditional, more maybe what you think of as traditional opera in both works, in both the Poulenc and mine, but also the Poulenc verges across worlds as well. And, you know, it's a contemporary-ish work in the scale of things. It's, you know, from mid-last century. But so yeah, musically, I hope people come with open ears. I think there's something for everyone. But I think the stories are, like I said, they're very human and they're very timeless. And I think there's central to both of them in a way is about connection with each other and with people and with the people that you know and strangers. And yeah, I think there's a really beautiful message kind of hidden, in both of the works, particularly in The Call. I think it has at its center a really human, really beautiful message. Yeah. So I hope people get to, you know, experience that and feel something of that.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. I cannot wait to see it. And I think it's going to be a special night on so many levels for so many reasons, as you're saying. So well done, you. First opera. Woohoo!